All right, welcome to the Mind Your Movies podcast. This is our episode 14.5, I think.
Yeah.
Uh it is we're doing our top 5 most anticipated movies for the summer of 2025. So we're going to be defining the summer as from April to September, which is not exactly summer, but for our purposes it's going to be. And then we were thinking maybe we'll do it maybe every 6 months we could do a like top 5 for movies we're looking forward to. And it was pretty fun to make this list.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. It's always fun to like just look ahead at what's coming up, especially we're moving like it's exciting just to look forward to the summer, like movies or not, it's almost
Yeah,
summer, baby.
yeah. We just got some rain to get through, and then finally, spring and summer will be here.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's awesome. We were originally planning on just doing for the rest of 2025, but I found that I had like so many movies and so many movies that didn't have a release date, or we weren't sure if they were going to come out this year or next year. So I think this shortening it down to 6 months makes the most sense. So all my top 5 have a a release date as of now. I could change, you never know, but yeah.
Yeah, same here. All mine currently have a release date.
Nice. All right. Well, do you want to start with your number 5?
Sure. My number five is Together, which I don't know a whole lot about. I've seen some like teasers while I'm in theaters to watch something, but this should come out on August 1st. It's directed by Michael Shank. It's his Shank's first feature debut, which is cool. But it's Alison Brie and James Franco moving into a house together, and uh, apparently some like supernatural thing apparently just totally changes their life. And the like tagline so far says that some supernatural thing drastically alters their relationship, existence, and physical form. And from the trailer, uh, which I didn't like intentionally watch trailers for any of these, but just some of them I've already seen the trailers. And from the trailer, it looks kind of like body horror esque, and I'm excited. I watching body horror in theaters. I think the only time I've done that was The Substance, and it is a weird experience. So I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. That movie does look pretty crazy. It definitely came by. It's not on my top 5, but do you know when the release date is for that? Or
Yeah, that's August 1st.
oh, okay, nice. Yeah, so I actually put mine, or well, yeah, I put mine in order of release. So the
Oh,
one coming soonest is my number 5, and then my number 1 is the one coming farthest away.
interesting. I've got mine just building up to my most anticipated movie.
Okay, that
So
makes sense. My number 1 also happens to be my most anticipated movie, so it worked out that way.
there you go.
But yeah, Together does look pretty cool. And Alison Brie and Dave Franco are like married, so they're kind of a married creative power couple.
Yeah. So it looks wacky. I like the trailer even like makes you a little uncomfortable while you're sitting there watching it. And I'm in. It seems
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I feel like I know a little bit about it just from a trailer, but I'm like, am I making assumptions or yeah, I don't know. Or is it just kind of obvious? But I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil anything because that's the whole point of the episode. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, my number 5 is coming out on April 18th, Sinners. Directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan. I am very excited for this movie. I already bought my ticket. I already bought my IMAX ticket. I got literally perfect right in the middle of the theater. I was like, fantastic. So I bought the ticket like a month in advance, but that's how much I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. And apparently there's maybe like 25 or 30 minutes of like enhanced aspect ratio for IMAX, sort of like The Dark Knight or a lot of movies before, I guess like Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer, it was like the whole movie was enhanced for IMAX. But on this one it's just certain scenes or certain shots. But yeah, so I'm excited to see it in IMAX uh when it comes out. Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan plays like twin brothers, 1930s in the South in America, and there appear to be like vampires of some sort or like the supernatural villains that he has to fight, and it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some jokes about like when there's a shot in a trailer of like four people standing behind a door and there's like something happening beyond the door, right? It's like there's knocking or whatever. And I've seen like jokes about it being Call of Duty Zombies or something, right? You got four people ready to defend a building or something.
Oh, that is
Um,
funny. I didn't even think of that.
I don't know if it's actually going to be zombies or vampires or whatever it's going to be, but it seems really cool.
It does seem really cool. Also, Michael B. Jordan's characters, one is named Smoke and the other one is named Stack. So he plays Smokestack. And I mean, just a really great cast. Haley Steinfeld, Jack O'Connell, Delroy Lindo is in this. Should be really, really cool. So
Nice.
that's my number five.
Very nice. My number four is my soonest movie that I forgot was actually this soon. April 25th, Until Dawn comes out,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
which is David F. Sandberg, who is directing it, who also directed Lights Out in 2016 and Annabelle Creation in 2017. So I remember Lights Out being pretty enjoyable, but anyways, Until Dawn, the reason I'm most excited about it is that it follows like a uh, group of people who are stuck in like a time loop of different ways to die in a horror movie, kind of. That's kind of the gist of it, but it's based on a video game that's in like a very cinematic storytelling way by Supermassive Entertainment, who makes things like The Quarry, which is their most recent, and the Dark Picture anthology games. So there are all these like cinematic games where you're not really doing a lot of playing. You're more making decisions that alter outcomes. And because you're not doing a lot of playing, they put a lot of focus in on like graphics and storytelling and narrative choices. And so this was, I think, their first or their biggest like breakout one that came out a while back. And it just got a remake, like a remaster, I guess, not a remake. And now it's getting a movie, and I'm very excited for this movie. Again, this comes out on April 25th, and from the trailers I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be uh, a blast. Pretty much what I would hope for from a movie about this video game.
Nice. Hell yeah, that seems cool. I remember it's the same people who made The Quarry, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we played The Quarry and that was pretty cool. So it was Until Dawn, the video game before The Quarry?
Yes. Yeah. I think
Okay.
it might be their first one that they made like that. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, cool. And David F. Sandberg, I think he like started like on YouTube and he
oh,
made like Lights Out short film and then he turned it into the feature and now yeah, so that's pretty cool.
very cool.
Yeah. And also now I'm wondering before I get into my number four, I'm wondering if we're gonna have any crossover at all. Because
I know.
I guess I mean it's a pretty big 6 months
Yeah.
is a lot of movies are coming out. So there are some good options. But anyway, we'll see as we go. I feel like we're actually not gonna have any crossover, but
Interesting. There's two movies on my list, on my top five, there's a chance that you might have picked. We'll see.
okay. Okay. We'll see. But before we get to that, my number four is coming out June 6th. It's The Phoenician Scheme, the new Wes Anderson movie. This is just, we don't really know much about it. There's no poster or anything. Apparently, Benicio del Toro is the lead, so that's really awesome. And it's described as a dark tale of espionage following a strained father daughter relationship within a family business. So, would be kind of interesting to see Wes Anderson do something a little darker. Obviously, his movies they have dark moments in them, but mostly they're comedies. Maybe parts of certain movies get dark. But it would be interesting to see him do something maybe a little more serious. with his kind of signature style. And yeah, I am just always looking forward to the new Wes Anderson movie. And there's espionage, and I believe there might be like a heist, or as the title says, a Phoenician scheme. I think there's some sort of a scheme, a plan, a heist, a something. And so maybe him going back to that from his first movie, Bottle Rocket, maybe that'll be exciting.
Yeah. This also has like Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston. Does it have Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, Bill Murray, Jeffrey
Oh my
Wright,
God.
Richard Ayoade, Jeff Goldblum, Charlotte Gainsbourg. Yeah, like
That's crazy.
yeah, all of his movies now they have incredible casts, and it'll be like, oh my God, Charlotte Gainsbourg is in like 2 minutes of the movie. Why? Or like some,
Yeah.
since like, well, since Royal Tenenbaums, I guess. Like he just likes builds out these big casts, and he reuses a lot of the same actors in his movies. So
One thing I've seen about this is a tagline that I wrote down a small quote from, and that says, "It will have twists around betrayal and morally gray choices." And I think that's an interesting thing for Wes Anderson to explore. In like you said, like maybe a more serious movie, or more more serious movie. So
yeah,
seems fun.
and I'm kind of curious if maybe this will have a more traditional like story structure than his last two movies. Like French Dispatch and Asteroid City have been pretty like meta, and there's different levels to the storytelling, and it's, I don't know, play within a movie, within a storybook, and all that kind of stuff. And I wonder if this will be maybe a little more like Grand Budapest Hotel, or even like Fantastic Mr. Fox, like a little bit more of a straightforward story. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that seems like it'll be a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So
June 2nd or June 6th?
June 6th, yeah.
June 6th. Excellent. Well, my number three, number three
Yeah.
is Nobody 2.
Oh, wow.
This is a sequel to the 2021 movie. That stars Bob Odenkirk.
Odenkirk, yeah.
Odenkirk. Who is like an ex-government assassin that has been living out his life in normalcy, right? Like a suburbia type guy. And then I think in the first one, like his home gets burgled, whatever. Burglarized. Wow, that's a crazy way to verb. Anyways, and he like just jumps back on the train, right? He goes after these people, and of course it's kind of like John Wickian, right? And very fun. The movie is bloody and gory, and lots of great action, and I remember there's like a bus scene that's very memorable from the first one. And so I think the second one's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's made by Timio Giajanto. I might be pronouncing the name wrong, but who's started out doing some horror stuff, some gory horror movies and shorts, and ended up doing some more recent, I think, Indonesian like action like gore fest movies recently on Netflix, and so seems like a perfect guy to make this next movie. So very excited.
Yeah, that does look cool. I there is a big trend. I think John Wick has been so influential of a lot of movies are like post John Wick. Like A Working Man is coming, or just came out last weekend when this episode comes out. And there's The Amateur is coming out, I think, next weekend. So there's a lot of, I think, post John Wick movies that are coming out, and yeah, Nobody 2 should be cool. I didn't put any sequels on my list.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Nobody.
And I don't think we have any crossover.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I kept it with all original movies. I have a remake on my honorable mentions, but that's it.
Okay, cool. I'll say Nobody 2 comes out August 15th. So if you haven't seen the first one, I strongly recommend the first one before seeing the second, I assume, but also the first one's just great. And then jump on the train, see Nobody 2 in late August.
Yeah, definitely. And Nobody's probably, well, you can definitely rent it, but I think it's streaming somewhere. But
you'll find it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's easy enough to find. All right. My number 3 is probably the biggest, or maybe second biggest. I don't know, actually. I think it could be a gigantic hit. It's F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Brad Pitt. Comes out June 27th. This is another movie I think was filmed for IMAX. And yeah, it's by Joseph Kosinski, who did Top Gun Maverick, which was a gigantic hit, and I loved it. I don't like the first Top Gun, like honestly, very much at all. I thought it was I'm not a fan, and Top Gun Maverick is fantastic. I'm not even a Tom Cruise guy. Like it just didn't seem like it would appeal to me, but when I watched it, it was so well executed. All the action scenes, all the flying. Our next episode is plane movies, and I almost picked Top Gun Maverick because it is so good. But yeah, obviously they're in fighter jets, but yeah, just that movie was so impressive. It was so well made that I think uh, Joseph Kosinski directing a movie about Formula One racing sounds awesome, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Nice. That sounds great. When is that one again?
June 27th.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
we haven't seen that much about it. I think there was a trailer. I saw like kind of a teaser trailer. That's really all I've seen it. But apparently it says racing legend Sonny Hayes is coaxed out of retirement to lead a struggling Formula One team and mentor a young hotshot driver while chasing one more chance at glory, which sounds just like Top Gun Maverick, but this time in a car instead of in a plane. And to me, that sounds fucking awesome. So I'm there for it.
Excellent. Very fun. Wow. Breaking into number two, I've got this is June 20th. This will release, and it sees the return of Danny Boyle and Alex Garland to write the 28 X Later series. They're returning for 28 years later. They wrote 28 Days Later, that came out in 2002, and then they didn't write or direct it. I don't think they were associated with the 28 Weeks Later. I don't know if they were producers or not, but which came out in 2007. And so like 20 something years after the first one,
23 years later, we get 28 years later.
Amazing. Amazing. This is if you haven't seen the first two, these are like well, they're all very different kind of zombie movies because they take place at different times during the zombie outbreak. And so this one it seems like people are like camped out living on some isolated area. Maybe it's an island. It's hard to tell in what we've seen so far. And they have like a full running society, right? And people go out into I assume like contaminated areas, right? Full of zombies to get supplies every once in a while. And my guess is that something crazy happens, and that's what we'll watch. And I'm very excited. Yeah, I don't know. This movie's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm so excited actually that we are probably almost certainly going to be covering this movie in a half episode in a few months. So stay tuned.
Our idea is to do 3 half episodes. We'll do 28 days later. Then the next half episode, 2 weeks after that, we'll do 28 weeks later. And then after that, we'll do 28 years later. And then I believe there's supposed to be 3 28 years later movies. I think the next part 2 or chapter 2 or whatever is going to come out in 2026, maybe. I think Nia DaCosta is supposed to be directing it. So we'll probably do that one too. And we'll just do them all unless they really suck, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, it is supposed to be the start of that new trilogy. They already have like a name and the next one must already be in production and stuff, but
I think they already shot part 2. I think it's already been shot. Yeah.
Amazing. And I don't think we know much about part 3 yet, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also definitely looking forward to this one. I figured this would be on your list, so I felt comfortable leaving it off of mine because I figured you would want to talk about it. And also, Alex Garland has a movie that's coming out. Well, when this episode comes out, it'll be next week. Warfare, which he co-directed with Ray Mendoza, and that looks really good. I'm definitely going to see that. It was just a little close to when we're releasing it, and like. So I didn't end up in my top 5, but it's an honorable mention. So hopefully this will be a big summer for Alex Garland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Civil War was great, right? And is now uh streaming and available to buy and stuff, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, he's
Yeah.
got all sorts of stuff recently.
All of Al, pretty much I would recommend everything Alex Garland has done except Men. I didn't like Men. But
I think that might be the only one I haven't seen.
I mean, you can I watched, I mean it was on Max, so I watched it and it wasn't I didn't like it. Some people defend it, but I was not a fan personally.
You're not
But
a Men defender?
well, not the movie. I'll tell you that much. All right, moving on. My number 2 is Caught Stealing, the new Darren Aronofsky movie coming out August 29th. Um, it follows Hank Thompson, a burned out former professional baseball player who is unwittingly plunged into a wild fight for survival in the downtown criminal underworld of 90s New York City. It stars Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz, also Regina King, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio. Also, Bad Bunny is in this movie. So, also Action Bronson is in this movie apparently, which is awesome. So, yeah, I am generally a Darren Aronofsky defender, and I'm also looking forward to the fact that this is uh, maybe not as brutally depressing as some of his other movies are. It's has maybe a more exciting thriller premise, so I think it might have a little bit more of that appeal. And yeah, I think it looks cool. Again, this is one that we don't know that much about. I think we've just seen I've only seen a couple like photos from production. It looks like Matt Smith has like a crazy mohawk in the movie, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it looks great. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Very cool. Well, my most anticipated movie of the summer.
Yeah, number 1.
Number 1. This I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time and only recently learned that it was coming out this summer. And immediately was like, can't wait. Very excited. Actually, when this was in TIFF, the Toronto International Film Fest, I was reading about it and was excited about it, and I first saw it because the director Mike Flanagan's Letterboxd, he left a little like on it and commented just saying how fun it was to be there at TIFF, showing this off. This is The Life of Chuck, which is based on a Stephen King novella from 2020, so 2020, kind of a more recent story. This comes out on June 6th, and it's being distributed by Neon, which is awesome. I think they have been distributing a lot of cool stuff lately, which is cool. And it won the People's Choice Award at TIFF, which is a pretty big thing. This is, I don't know, it's Mike Flanagan's next thing. It just tells the story of an ordinary guy, and I believe that the short story, I don't really know much about the movie, but I believe the short story gets into like existentialism and I think it may be told in reverse order it's told in like 3 chapters of his life. The short story, I don't know again about the movie, and I think it's told in reverse order, which would be interesting. I have no idea what this movie is really going to be, but I am excited. I'm going to jump on the Mike Flanagan train a lot, and here we go.
Nice. Yeah. This does look very good. This was another one I thought you might have on your list, but it definitely was in contention for mine. But yeah, it looks really cool. We don't know much about it. Neon is very good at marketing their movies, and the marketing for this does look really cool. The poster is really great. I saw like a teaser trailer for it, and it doesn't give anything away really. Just seems like it's about time and death. Which that's also probably a reason it didn't make my top 5. It looks like it could be depressing, but it could also be very life affirming. I think there's definitely a good chance. So I'm definitely also looking forward to Life of Chuck.
Nice.
All right. So now on to my number 1. This is, I mean, it's the furthest away, but this is definitely my number 1. It's coming out September 26th. One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. This is gonna be fucking awesome. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, really, I was thinking of having the cutoff for this be like the end of August, and then I realized One Battle After Another wouldn't make it then. So then I was like, all right, maybe end of September makes the most sense. Like, so that's the reason our cutoff is the end of September, because it's currently set for a September 26th release date. I think it was originally supposed to come out in August, and they pushed it back, which I think could be a good sign, a little closer to Oscar season. And yeah, there's like a little teaser trailer of this that is like really cool. I like didn't even watch. There is actually, I think, a full trailer out now, and I haven't watched it because I am already seated. Like, I'm already going to see the movie. But yeah, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. That's all I really need to know. But this is his first time working with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's got a crazy cast too. And Benicio del Toro is in this one too. There's Sean Penn, Regina Hall. Regina Hall is also in, I think, Sinners, maybe, or something.
Oh,
She was
cool.
in something that I had already mentioned earlier, and now I'm trying to figure out what that was. I thought, or maybe Regina King is in Sinners. Oh man, Regina. Anyway, but anyway, Regina Hall is in this one. Tiana Taylor is in One Battle After Another. Also Alana Haim, who was in Licorice Pizza. But yeah, I mean, pretty much all I need to know is it's PTA. It looks fucking awesome. It's like 2.5 hour big epic. And apparently it's based on or inspired by the Thomas Pynchon novel. And the last time he did that was Inherent Vice, which is like, in my opinion, one of his best. It's an underrated PTA movie. But yeah, so this is definitely my number one most anticipated, and it's also the farthest away, but that's okay.
Well, that gives you so much to look forward to. You know, you got so much
Yeah.
time to look forward to it. You get to knock off all the others in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm glad, because Sinners is also honestly, if I was doing it in most excited like order, Sinners might be number two, and that one's coming the soonest. So it's a it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. These are, I mean, we've got some, I like the diversity in our movie choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a great summer.
Yeah, I'm glad we have a nice variety and had completely different picks. But yeah, pretty much as soon as we had this idea, I was like, One Battle After Another, that's my number one.
See,
and
The Life of Chuck, instantly my number one.
see, there you go. Yeah.
And for a similar reason, I think too, with just like the director, right? Like it's we've all got our peeps, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Cool. I mean, I guess that's that. This has been kind of a quick episode. We'll do some honorable mentions, but
Yeah,
that's that. Do you want to give some honorable mentions and maybe why they didn't make your list?
sure. I'll start with one very relevant in summertime talk, which is a I Know What You Did Last Summer requel, maybe thing. Which the original movie from 1998 is like one of those early the like Scream era slashers that I was very in love with as a kid, right? Those 90s slashers. This one's directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson and comes out on July 18th. And it's bringing back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., which is kind of cool. And I believe it's following the story of the first one, but it's cutting out the others. So it's kind of doing like a Halloween thing. And I mean, I'm excited for like any time that one of these slashers is going to come out, to be honest, but not anywhere near as excited as movies that I think will probably just be better. like I will watch this and be excited for it, but
yeah, if you're a fan of the original, I understand why you'd be excited for this, but also could understand being worried that this could be a giant pile of shit.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll see it either way, but
yeah,
it's definitely not top 5 worthy.
Makes sense. Should we go back and forth on our honorable mentions, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would have been honestly my number 2, right behind One Battle After Another, but it doesn't have a set release date yet. I'm not sure if it's going to come out in the summer or in the fall, or it might even come out in 2026. I really don't know. But it's Eddington the new Ari Aster movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, last I saw, maybe late last year, they said it was going to come out in summer of 2025, but it still doesn't have a date, and we haven't really seen much of it. We saw like a picture from production like many months back, like I said, maybe toward the end of 2024, and like I haven't really heard anything since then, so I'm kind of that's why I did make the list, even though I'm very excited for it. Joaquin Phoenix, one of my favorite actors. Ari Aster is a very exciting filmmaker. I didn't love Beau is Afraid, but I appreciated its audacity and ambition. And I'm very curious what he'll do with this. Again, this one has a really good cast. Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone is one of my favorite actresses, and Austin Butler again. So yeah, that would have been on my list, but who knows when it's going to come out.
Nice. Unfortunate that we don't know yet. It's getting very close to summer to still have a summer potential in the summer. But
yeah, exactly. I was thinking like there's definitely a chance that because I mean, Beau's Afraid, I feel like came out early in its year. Was that 2023 maybe or 2022? I don't remember. But I feel like because it was such a weird, clearly not a crowd pleaser. It also wasn't going to get like awards or anything. So I think they released it maybe in like April. So I feel like this movie, I mean, it could come out August, September, but it could come out around Oscar time. Or if it's a little bit crazy, it could just come out in 2026, or if they need more time also. So yeah, it's very up in the air.
Well, I've got a crazy one for my next one.
Crazier than I know what you did last summer. Requel remake thing was a little crazy to me, but this is
crazier.
Oh boy,
swear. It's in a similar vein. Oh
man, how bad is this?
The Toxic Avenger.
That's on my honorable mentions too. Our first crossover. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. The Toxic Avenger is awesome.
Amazing. Very, very fun. Yeah, the original was 1980 something, 1980.
84 maybe.
84. Troma Entertainment, crazy movie that I think I didn't appreciate as much as I should have, even like the first time watching it. But just looking back on it, I have very fond memories of that movie.
It's awesome.
I don't think I've seen I think there's a few, right? Is there like 3 or 4 in the series? I think I've only seen the first. Yeah. But I'm excited for this remake.
Yeah, I'm also excited for it. It was also on my honorable mentions, directed by Macon Blair, who's the star of Blue Ruin, and then he directed I Don't Feel Like what is it? I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, which was a pretty cool movie. But yeah, this came out, or it was played in like festivals in 2023, and it's been like pushed back. It hasn't been able to get a distributor. I guess recently someone picked it up to release it, and I have written down that it's going to come out on August 29th. So I'm just glad that this is getting released, and I'm hoping it's good. It looks good. I don't know. Elijah Wood looks like a damn sicko in this movie.
Yeah. Oh man. How great! From what I read real quick, I think it might be more based on like a cartoon series for the Toxic Avenger that followed up all the other stuff. But either way, I mean, I'm down for this guy. It's gonna be great. I strongly look forward to it, but I don't know if it's really top 5 worthy. So it did not make my top 5 list, but.
That's fair. There's definitely like a lot of high ceiling, low floor for this movie, but also Peter Dinklage plays the Toxic Avenger. So that's awesome.
Amazing. And
it's got Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, Taylor Page from Zola. She's in it. That's awesome. A lot of these movies have pretty strong casts. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Cool. That was also an honorable mention for me. Another movie that was also sort of completed and had trouble finding distributor is Havoc, the new Gareth Evans movie starring Tom Hardy. It's coming out on April 25th on Netflix. So that's part of the reason. Yeah. That's part of the reason it didn't make my top five is because it is straight to Netflix. Um, but I am really looking forward to it. I mean, Gareth Evans did the raid. I always mix up Gareth Edwards and Gareth Evans. Um, but yeah, this is Evans, the guy who did the raid movies, and it looks this kind of looks like a raid movie with Tom Hardy, which sounds incredible. So I'll be seated on my couch on Netflix on April 25th watching this movie.
Amazing, amazing. I will definitely be watching that as well. That's gonna be great. I've got I think two more honorable mentions.
Me too.
One is Superman, the James
Oh,
Gunn start of the DCU or whatever.
restart.
The restart of the DCU, the James Gunnian verse, whatever, you know. This comes out on July 11th. I'm not like super excited about it, which is why it really didn't make my list, but I'm gonna watch it and I'm hoping that it might be really cool. But to be honest, Superman's not my favorite superhero. Don't love a lot of Superman stuff in general, but Nicholas Holt is Lex Luthor in this, which is kind of funny. And yeah, I'll watch it. I think it's gonna be fun. I hope that James Gunn can kind of get some cool stuff going for DC. But also we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a very like nerve-wracking thing to put money on.
I like the dog. There's
Yeah,
the dog is in this movie, and that'll be exciting.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, Crypto.
Yes, I forgot his name. I'm not a superhero guy, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, throw a dog in a movie. Sounds good to me.
We're
I
in.
mean, yeah. And then I think Supergirl comes out in like 2026, maybe.
I haven't even looked at the other DCU stuff to be honest, but yeah, hopefully he keeps it going.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they pushed back the Batman Part 2 to 2027. So that sucks. I'm like, ugh.
And
I love that.
And that's not even gonna be in the DCU, right?
I don't know what they're doing
Oh,
with it.
man.
I don't know if they're gonna have two separate Batmen or if they're gonna. I really don't know.
Yeah, this has been the problem with DC for a long time is that things just haven't been connected. And I think that's what James Gunn is supposed to be here for, is like fix that.
I like the unconnectedness of it. I like that I
Yeah.
can just watch the Joker and I don't have to see any of this other shit. Like, so
That's
Thunderbolts is coming out this summer, and it doesn't look great, but it looks like something I might be interested in watching.
Oh,
And
really?
then now I'm like, oh, there's like all these series, all these other movies that I haven't seen. I'm like, oh yeah, I just am not going to see this because
Yeah.
it's so deep into this lore that I just don't give a fuck about. But the DC movies, I think if they embraced the separateness of each thing and maybe they did a crossover Godzilla vs Kong style eventually,
Mhm.
I think that'd be fine. But I don't know. I'm not interested in watching 30 Marvel movies so I can see one movie that I think looks okay.
Yeah. No, I strongly agree with that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like having the connected like Justice League movies. I guess the problem is the DC has been trying to do it and just hasn't worked, right? And so maybe James Gunn will let that happen, right? Do what he did for like the original Marvel stuff. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like Thunderbolts, I like to think that I'm like still somewhat up to date with Marvel stuff, and I don't even know some of those characters. They're all introduced already in Disney Plus TV shows or the Black Widow movie or whatever. Like the side stuff in the universe that like you don't think you really have to pay attention to, and then it's like here's all of these characters at once. Ugh,
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Anyways,
But
yeah, not looking forward to that one.
I know, right? This is our most anticipated, and we just shit on DC. But yeah, so last couple honorable mentions for me. Bring Her Back by the Philippou brothers. May 30th it comes out. They are the guys who did Talk to Me. And I believe they're making Talk to Me, the sequel. And maybe that's supposed to come out in like 2026. But they made this first. And yeah, again, I think there's a little maybe teaser trailer for this, but I have kind of tried to avoid it. seems like it's going to be cool. Talk to Me was really well made, and I'm kind of just curious what they do next.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. It almost made it on my honorable mentions, but I didn't end up writing it down just because I really don't know anything about it. But that's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like I'm excited for it, but don't know really. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So we'll see. Should be good, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right. My last honorable mention is the Final Destination Bloodline movie, which is made by the director.
Why?
because I just want to see people die in like weird, obscure ways, and I think this movie will do that. It's made by the people that directed Freaks in 2018, which was like a decent movie. But this comes out May 16th. I don't know. It does what it's supposed to do, I'm sure. I hope, maybe. It's gonna be a new Final Destination movie. If you don't know what that means, that's probably a good thing for you. But if you do know what that means, it's gonna be exactly what you expect, I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go. Makes sense. My last thing I wanted to mention was a Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey coming out on September 19th, directed by Kogonada. I really loved Columbus, and I still actually haven't seen After Yang yet. I want to see it. I don't know. I've just been putting it off, but I will certainly watch After Yang before A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey comes out. Also, it's very vague. Like, we don't really know anything about what the movie's about. The tagline is just an imaginative tale of two strangers and the extraordinary emotional journey that connects them, which tells me absolutely nothing about what the movie's about. But honestly, that's all right with me. It's the new Kogonada movie. It's got Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. Sounds good to me.
Awesome. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention?
No, we've got a packed summer.
I know we got some good stuff coming out. I hope this episode was helpful for people to let people know some stuff that's coming out soon. Also coming out in the coming weeks, there's Warfare, like I said earlier. There's The Amateur, which I want to see. It looks kind of cheesy fun, and yeah, there's even some good stuff that maybe wasn't gonna make my most anticipated of the summer, but. Also, Hell of a Summer. That's the one I was thinking of. That is coming out soon, which looks like a fun slasher with some slasher comedy kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in April we have a lot of good stuff coming out, and for the rest of the summer we got some good stuff coming out. Yeah,
it's gonna be an awesome couple months here. I think I'm gonna watch some great stuff. I think I'm gonna watch some bad stuff, and I look forward to that. I mean, yeah, a lot of my list is like horror movie sequel remake things. Took a lot to not put Megan 2.0 on the list.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. M. Threegan was good. I'm here for M. Threegan. I liked.
And this is M. Threegan plus 2, so this is M. Fivegan.
M. Threegan 2.0.
Whatever.
Get it together, Ryan. Come on.
That one's coming out like end of June or something. So just a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let us know what you guys are looking forward to. Also, if you thought this episode was fun or interesting at all, if we could keep on doing this and mention what we're looking forward to, do some research, have a little bit of a service to the audience, help you guys put some stuff on your radar, and let us know. Contact us, mindyourmoviespodcast@gmail.com. We've got a letterbox, Mind Your Movies, all one word. Instagram. On the letterbox, you can find all our links to our YouTube and our podcast apps. So yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, and let us know what you're looking forward to. What's your number one most anticipated movie for the summer 2025? And I hope you enjoy it.
Bye.
See you guys.